Have you ever felt, completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume or maybe the complexity of contracts in your business?
Oh, I think most people have.
Yeah, they're foundational, right? The
Yeah.
backbone of everything.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, they can also be this hidden minefield of risk.
Absolutely.
Like one outdated clause, maybe a missed deadline, an overlooked obligation, and suddenly, boom, you're facing penalties, reputational damage, maybe even serious legal
It
trouble.
happens all the time.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into how generative AI, Gen AI, the AI that can create new content, is just absolutely transforming contract lifecycle management, or CLM. For anyone maybe not familiar, CLM is that whole process, right? Managing contracts from start to finish, creation, negotiation, execution, management, renewal, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly.
And with Gen AI, it seems like it's dramatically cutting down on that pervasive contract risk we were just talking about.
That's right. And the source material we're looking at today gives a really comprehensive view of these GenAI-powered CLM solutions.
Yep.
So we're going to try and extract the most vital, actionable insights, really focus on the practical applications, and importantly, the measurable outcomes businesses can actually expect to see.
Got it. So our mission today is really to unpack how Gen AI shifts CLM from, what's often a reactive kind of manual admin burden.
Yeah, a necessary evil sometimes.
Right. Into something proactive, something insight-driven. Imagine reducing your contract risk by like half. That's the kind of potential we're exploring.
It's a big promise, but the tech is moving fast.
Okay, so let's start by painting a clear picture. Lots of organizations, they still rely on slow, manual, maybe fragmented processes for contracts. When you say contract risk, it sounds a bit abstract. What does that actually look like on the ground? It's more than just legal liability, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, contract risk is much broader and often kind of insidious. It pops up in lots of different forms, and each one can really erode business performance.
Like what specifically?
Well, think about ambiguous or, outdated clauses in an agreement that could easily expose your company to some really costly litigation down the line.
Okay.
Or missed renewal dates, missed obligation deadlines happens all the time. That often leads to service gaps, maybe unexpected auto renewals you didn't want, or just straight up financial losses.
Right, those sneaky auto renewals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there's the risk from using non-standard language that sort of deviates from corporate policy or maybe key industry regulations. That puts you out of compliance pretty quickly. And a lack of clear audit trails or, say, approval history, that makes navigating compliance checks a real nightmare.
I can imagine.
And don't forget just the sheer chaos of having inconsistent templates used across different departments or maybe different regions.
Yeah, standardization is tough manually.
It really is. The core issue is that the traditional systems, relying on PDFs, endless email chains, fragmented storage like shared drives, they make it incredibly hard to spot these risks in time.
Right.
And even some of the older legacy CLM tools, while they might automate some basic handling, they still fall short when you need that context-aware decision-making and real-time compliance enforcement, especially now with the volume of contracts just exploding and regulatory scrutiny getting tighter all the time.
Okay, that really paints a vivid picture of the challenges. So this is where Gen AI comes in and promises this radical shift. What's the fundamental capability? What allows generative AI to bring this new layer of intelligence?
Well, the core strength, the real superpower, if you like, is its ability to understand the contract content. It doesn't just store it as, static text.
Okay, understand, not just store.
Exactly. And that understanding lets it proactively detect risks as they arise or even before. For instance, through something we call clause-level risk analysis.
Clause level, okay.
Yeah, it scans the contracts to find clauses that might be non-standard, maybe inherently risky, outdated, or just misaligned with your internal corporate policy. It flags things immediately, like, oh, you're missing an indemnity clause here, or this termination language is really vague.
Gotcha, so it spots the problems in the text itself.
Precisely. But it goes beyond just flagging. It provides context-aware recommendations.
Ah, so it suggests fixes.
Yes, but intelligently. Unlike, say, static rule-based systems, GenAI understands the nuances. It knows if it's looking at an NDA versus a vendor agreement versus an employment offer. It considers your historical preferences, the roles of the parties involved, and then it suggests appropriate, compliant alternatives. It can even provide automated risk scoring.
Risk scoring, how does that work?
It assigns real-time risk scores to entire contracts or even individual clauses based on their content, their structure, how much they deviate from your established standards.
Okay, so like a heat map for risk.
Kind of, yeah. And that means legal teams can instantly prioritize their reviews. They can focus their valuable time and expertise only on the stuff that truly requires their attention.
Makes sense.
And all of this is often delivered via, visual dashboards. It gives legal teams that critical visibility with interactive alerts and insights, so you're not forcing them to manually dig through mountains of documents anymore.
So the big takeaway here isn't just, oh, the AI flags errors. It fundamentally changes the human role, doesn't it?
It really does.
Legal teams shift from that exhaustive manual review of every single document to leveraging their high-value expertise only on the really complex, high-risk cases that the AI maybe can't fully resolve on its own. That's quite a leap.
It's a huge efficiency gain.
Can you walk me through a quick scenario? Let's say a global procurement team uploads a new third-party supplier agreement.
Yeah.
How would this actually play out with GenAI?
Sure. Okay, so that team uploads the new supplier agreement. The GenAI would instantly scan it. It might flag some non-standard language in, let's say, the liability section.
Right, a common sticking point.
Exactly. And then it would automatically recommend compliant alternatives, pulling from your company's approved clause library and maybe referencing similar past contracts.
Okay.
And crucially, it would notify the legal team about these deviations before the contract even goes for approval. That allows for quick, really targeted action right when it's needed.
Wow. That level of proactive prevention,
Yeah,
that feels truly transformative.
Yeah.
So GenAI doesn't just find the risk. It actively helps prevent it from even getting into the system in the first place. How does it manage that? How does it enforce standards throughout the whole creation and execution process?
Yeah, it actively enforces standards, essentially by building guardrails around the content creation process.
Guardrails, I like that.
Yeah, it does this primarily by leveraging standardized templates and clause libraries. So these GenAI-powered CLM solutions, they maintain these pre-approved templates and banks of clauses. This ensures only the approved language gets used right from the start, which massively reduces human error and inconsistency.
Okay, starting from a good baseline.
Exactly. And then if a user, maybe someone not in legal, tries to modify a standard clause or maybe enter some free text language.
Which happens all the time.
All the time. The GenAI proactively offers auto-suggestions for safer policy-matching clauses. It helps keep the contracts aligned with legal expectations, even when they're drafted by non-legal folks.
That's smart. Keeps everyone on the right track.
And critical to this prevention aspect are the approval workflows with built-in compliance checks.
Ah, okay. So it checks things before moving on.
Right. The GenAI verifies the contracts against necessary thresholds, things like clause requirements, deal value limits, policy checks before it can even progress to the next stage in the workflow.
And if it fails the check.
Any non-compliant contracts get automatically routed for review, maybe back to the drafter for revision. It stops bad contracts in their tracks.
Nice.
And for complete accountability, these platforms provide audit-ready documentation. They automatically log every single change, every review, every approval, all with timestamps. Makes future audits so much faster and way more accurate.
Wow. So no more frantic digging through emails from 3 years ago during an audit, huh?
Hopefully a lot less of it.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, let's think about an HR scenario. An HR manager is creating a new offer letter. How does GenAI step in there to ensure compliance?
Good example. In that situation, the GenAI would likely pre-fill critical bits like the salary, bonus details, maybe the non-compete clauses, using only that approved, standardized language from the library.
Okay, standard stuff.
But here's the clever part. Let's say it detects an outdated confidentiality clause. Maybe it was copied and pasted from an older template version.
Happens easily.
Right. The GenAI would immediately flag it, and it could automatically suggest or maybe even just update it to the current approved version before that offer letter ever gets sent out.
Ah, so it catches those legacy issues.
Exactly. It highlights that power of prevention, making sure outdated or non-compliant terms just never even reach a potential employee.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, risk often comes from delays, too, and systems that don't talk to each other, right? Disconnected systems.
Definitely. Bottlenecks and silos are huge risk factors.
So how does GenAI-powered CLM integrate into the broader tech ecosystem? Is it just a standalone tool, or does it, play nicely with others?
That's a really key point. It absolutely has to play nicely. And the good ones do. GenAI-powered CLM solutions, they don't operate in isolation. They integrate pretty seamlessly.
How so?
Well, for starters, they enable automated review and approval routing. They use the contract's metadata, like the contract type, the deal size, the business unit involved, to automatically send the contract to the exact right stakeholders for review or approval.
Ah, so no more manually figuring out who needs to sign off.
Exactly. Eliminates those manual bottlenecks and those endless email chains trying to track things down.
We all know those too well.
Yeah. And what's truly crucial, I think, is their integration with existing ERP systems, enterprise resource planning.
Okay, like Oracle, SAP.
Precisely. Leading solutions, like Astute CLM, for instance, they connect directly natively with major ERPs like Oracle PeopleSoft, EBS, JDE, even Banner for Higher Ed.
And why is that native integration so important?
Well, it's not just a technical detail. It means your contract data isn't stuck over in some separate silo, some isolated CLM tool. It lives within the very systems that run your core business operations.
So a single source of truth.
Exactly that. It prevents those data inconsistencies that always plague disparate systems, and it centralizes your compliance visibility. It's huge.
Okay. What else on the integration front?
These solutions also provide really comprehensive renewal and obligation tracking. They monitor milestones, payment terms, expiration dates, and they alert the right teams well before key events are missed.
Proactive again.
Always proactive. And finally, they often offer self-service capabilities, but with guardrails.
Self-service, meaning?
Meaning internal teams, or sometimes even external vendors, can generate and submit contracts themselves through secure portals. But the GenAI ensures policy adherence throughout that process and automatically triggers the correct workflow. So you get speed, but controlled speed.
That is truly proactive governance. So back to our example, maybe a regional finance team.
Yeah.
Instead of manually sifting through files for renewals,
Right.
they could just have something like Astute CLM, powered by GenAI, automatically flag the nearing expirations for, say, multiple service contracts.
Yeah.
It could summarize the renewal terms, alert the procurement lead.
Yep. All automated.
No more scrambling to find documents or realizing, oops, that critical contract expired last week.
Exactly. Avoids those costly misses.
Okay, so we've seen how GenAI tackles the nitty-gritty, the micro-level complexities of the contracts themselves, and how it integrates across the enterprise.
Yeah.
But stepping back, what's the big picture here for the business? Are we just talking about less legal hassle, or is there really a measurable impact on the bottom line?
Oh, the benefits are substantial, and they are genuinely measurable. You'll almost certainly see dramatically faster contract cycle time.
Faster deals.
Yes. Acceleration in drafting, review, approval. The whole chain. We're seeing data suggesting turnaround times cut by up to 40%. And that translates directly to faster revenue recognition, quicker deal closures. Speed matters.
40%, wow. Okay, what else?
There's also significantly lower legal review overhead because the legal teams can slash the time they spend on low-risk standard documents.
Because the AI handles those.
Right. It frees them up to focus their expertise only on those high-risk, complex contracts where their insights are truly critical. Better use of expensive resources.
Makes sense.
Compliance.
Definitely improve compliance and audit readiness. Those pre-approved templates, the automated logs, the real-time dashboards, it means compliance teams aren't just reacting to audits, they're actually ahead of the curve. They're prepared.
That must reduce stress levels significantly.
I'd imagine so. You also tend to foster stronger vendor and customer relationships. Fewer delays, clearer, more consistent terms. It just leads to smoother onboarding, easier renewals, and ultimately more confidence from your partners.
Good point. And the ERP integration. That centralized control within your ERP is key. Like we said, solutions with native integration, like Astute CLM with Oracle, mean your contracts live where your core business data already resides. You avoid those disconnected tools, the complexity of middleware, the data silos. It simplifies everything.
So it really sounds like it's about unlocking speed and clarity, enabling those vital teams, legal, procurement, HR, finance, to act faster, act smarter, but without sacrificing control or compliance.
That's it, exactly. It helps transform contracts from being seen as this potential liability, this necessary evil, into a true strategic asset that actually helps the business move faster.
Okay, so wrapping things up.
Yeah, look, while contract risk, it can never be fully eliminated, right? There's always some residual risk.
Right.
But GenAI-powered CLM fundamentally transforms contracts from being just static documents filed away somewhere into active, intelligent business assets. It's continuously analyzing terms, enforcing standards, making sure obligations are tracked and met. It anticipates and minimizes risks before they ever really blow up into liabilities.
So a final thought for everyone listening. Consider the implications for your own operations. If GenAI can take these really complex, traditionally risk-laden processes like contract management and make them intelligent and proactive, what other areas of your business might be ripe for a similar kind of transformation? What stands out to you personally as the most impactful shift GenAI brings here? The one thing that would make the biggest difference day to day?
It's a powerful question.
And maybe think about this. In a world where businesses often feel like they're drowning in data, just imagine applying this level of intelligent automation, these kinds of guardrails and proactive insights, to every single operational touch point. How would that redefine business agility and strategic decision-making for your organization?